Hi traders, it's Roberto, and this tutorial I'm going to go over how to optimize the FX1 indicator. If you haven't purchased the FX1 indicator, you can just click on the website as shown above, and it's $87. It's one-time fee. You'll get a lot of bonuses with this one-time fee of $87. Not only the trend indicator, but you're going to be getting trade signals and videos like the one you're watching right now. Now, I sent out a signal this morning for the trend indicator to find buying opportunities on the pound yen, euro yen, and USD yen. So let's look first at the pound yen. This is a 1-hour chart. This is a 24 activity right here. Market was in an uptrend. I'm going to show you all the opportunities, buying opportunities. So we scroll down to a 15-minute chart. So we've already established that on a 1-hour chart, the market's on an uptrend. So you want to disregard all these sell signals that you see that the indicator generates. Just don't pay any attention to them and just take the trades in the direction of the trend. So let's count how many trades from the beginning of the Asian session. There was one trade right here. The entry, let me make this a little bit bigger. The entry was this candle here. There's the alert. One second, sorry. There's the alert. And I was asked, how long do you stay in these trades? Well, this thing went up about 75 pips in just 2 hours. What I do is, it's your discretion, but because you're trading off the 15-minute chart, I'd like to try to capture at least 30 or 40 pips, especially if you're going in the direction of the trend. So this, it went up quite a bit, about 75 pips the first run, and that was the end of the Singapore session, I believe. Then coming into the London session, there was another trade signal right here, a buy at the London Open, and this one I would have probably stayed in at least till the New York session open. And this went up about 150 pips. That was the second signal. Actually, that's not true. Your entry would have been, this candle has to close, and you would have entered on this candle here. That was about 112 run. Then coming into the New York session, that's over here. There's another trade signal, and I'm sorry, that's not. The New York session was over here, back here. This is the last wave of a New York session, which is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 1 o'clock, and there was a trade, went up about 120 pips. So about using this trend indicator in the direction of the trend on the pound yen, you could have potentially captured around 300 pips. So let's go back to the 1-hour chart and just count how many pips from the swing low to the swing high, which is about 251 pips. And you could have captured almost all those waves, all those trades, just by acknowledging and just realizing knowing what direction the market's taking and just taking the trades. Now, at the beginning of the session, you may think, well, I'm not sure what direction. Well, look at Tuesday. The market went up, and this was the retracement. On Wednesday, the market found support. There was the trend line, broke the trend line. So coming into a new day, the market found support here, down here. And there was a huge candle right there telling us that this is a strong support. Huge wick on Wednesday. Take your Fibonacci tool from the swing low to swing high, and price found support around 50% retracement level. Okay. Let's look at a couple of the other pair was the euro yen. Here's the euro yen. Here was the uptrend on Wednesday and a bit of a retracement on Thursday, and there's the run up. Now, again, knowing that the market's in an uptrend from the previous day, then we go to our 15-minute chart and start looking for buying opportunities. Remember, disregard those sell signals, even though they do look tempting and you can make money on those reverse, then I would, as a habit, don't take them. Here there was a huge retracement, and that's okay. You can take them if you want, but just know that you're taking a counter trend trade. So there were several buying opportunities on the 15-minute chart. Okay, there was one down here. It's about 80 pips. There was another here, and then I would have not taken this one here because it's the end of the day and usually the markets retrace after a long run up or down. So when the market's put in its daily range, it's the end of the New York session, 11, 12, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then I start looking for counter trend trades, and this on a 1-hour chart, there was a signal to sell. Didn't go down much, about 23 pips. Still, those are the only times that I would most likely take a counter trend trades, is at the end of a rally or at the end of a sell-off. Okay. So now I'm not going to show the other currency, euro, yen, pound yen, because I want to get into on strategies on how to use this indicator. It's very, very easy, very simple, and how to distinguish a good signal from a bad signal. So let's go to this is a 15-minute chart, and I'm going to show you what signals are ideal on any pair, on any time frame, but since we're just using a 15-minute chart on this tutorial, we'll just focus on this. Now, the best signals are when the market has previously put in at least 50 pips or more. Okay, so for example, a market here generated 50 pips to about 55 pips to the downside. Okay, then you get a signal, and you have to be looking at what happened prior to the alert. And if you see the market had sold off substantially, then that signal is valid and it's going in the direction of the trend. So this signal I would have definitely taken, and notice the market went up. Okay, we know we're in an uptrend, so here the market did not retrace much, but because we're in an uptrend, then yes, I would have taken this trade. If we were not in an uptrend, I would have not taken this trade at all. I would start looking for selling opportunities instead of buying. Okay, so I hope you get that. It's very simple. Make sure the market has, when it generates a signal, that prior to the signal, look back and count the number of pips the market has put in. Those are the most ideal, most high percentage signals that generate. Okay, and this is not difficult because we know we're in an uptrend, so we start taking trades in the direction of the trend. Now you see the signal here to sell and how short-lived. I mean, I don't even think you would have made any pips because this candle closed here, and as soon as the signal was generated, it just turned around and went back up. So be careful taking signals against the trend. Usually they don't work. Okay, let's look at some other pairs. Looking at the pound dollar, here's Tuesday here, market rallied. Wednesday retraced, found support. We're looking at a 1-hour chart. We know we're in an uptrend coming into the European session. The market's in an uptrend. So let's scroll down to the 15-minute chart and start looking for buying opportunities. Okay, so we know we're in an uptrend, so I'm looking for those blue candles that are generated from the FX1 indicator. Okay, so there was one here, and there was the market early on the Asian session was not really moving at all, even though it went up for about, sorry about that, let me just go back here. Even though there's a signal generated and it went up about 20 pips. So not much happening in the Asian session. And this is another thing you should be aware of when there is no activity during prior session, which is the Asian session before the London Open. Normally you get a huge move in the London Open like you did here, and in the direction of the trend, the market just rallied. Okay, retraced, and there's another buy signal. You take that trade, and then that's it. Don't take any signals at the end of the day after around 3 p.m. Eastern, because the market's already put in its daily range, and any buy signals the FX1 generates most likely will not result in any gains. Okay, so take them early on in the Asian or London or the opening of the New York session, but around 3 or 4 o'clock, if you see a signal, a buy signal in the direction of the overall trend, don't take it. Okay, just wait for the next day. Let's go back to the 1-hour chart, and you see the market's in an uptrend, and then you see towards the end of the New York session, the market retraced. Okay, so now, but it's finding support. Here's the most recent, here's the resistance from Tuesday, and it has broken that resistance. So we're still in an uptrend on the pound dollar. So for tomorrow, start looking for buying opportunities around this level. Okay, guys, that's it. If you haven't purchased the FX1 indicator, $87, you'll receive trade signals. You'll receive videos like this one, instructional videos, how to trade the FX1 indicator, and you'll receive trade signals at least twice a week. I send signals based on the daily chart. The last few trade signals I sent out generated over 1,500 pips. So it's a real bargain. You're not going to get trade signals and an indicator and videos for a price of $87. Okay, thanks for watching the video, and have a good weekend.